My name is Sophia Buggs. I am the owner and operator of Lady Buggs Farm, which is located in Youngstown, Ohio, on the south side, just adjacent to Milk Creek Park. I am so happy to be able to share a story of a relationship that was absolutely built, I want to say, about a decade ago. I'm going to say a decade because I think it's important that we highlight our milestones in the world. And so you are looking at a project space that was then realized to be an initiative to basically, this is my life. And so if there was a beginning that I can say that I connected to the land bank, I want to say that I was connected to the land bank the moment someone said to me, if you cut it, you can have it. So I needed to better understand who the land bank was, or who was responsible for the land that I was wanting to use for a garden at the time. So what I ended up doing was figuring out that that was Lean Forward, Ohio. So I'm going to say that was about 2011 that I made that connection to utilizing these 9 parcels, which makes up, including my backyard, which would make this an adjacent property, would be about 1.3 acres of growing space. Having that kind of relationship put me in a type of a freedom that I would not have been able to have in a bigger city where I once was. So doing what I love primarily consists of more than just growing fruits and vegetables, but also flowers, both medicinal, bouquet, and fresh and ornamental, dried, and also for ornamental purposes that you're able to put on your table or to adorn beautiful gifts with. There was an opportunity when I was working with Goodness Grows, shout out to Goodness Grows, where I got my first contract to create some varieties, or grow some varieties that were specifically for dried ornamentals. And so having that experience of being able to grow for a floral shop or like a chef put me in a perspective that when I finally got an opportunity to really grow, to think of my own personal joy as opposed to the expansive joy. So that's what I'm so grateful about, that because without this space that I'm able to do all these other natural things in, I would not be able to learn at my own pace. Because this isn't just growing food or just growing flowers or let things get big or tall. This is a way that I, in a safe way, can commune, connect with the land. And land is not something that can, you come by that easily. So since this was a blessed opportunity for me to make these deeper connections to what I consider plant medicine, that's why this relationship is so amazing. I've had some experiences where the adjacent property owners, either some tree had fallen on the property, and my sign sitting out here big as day, call me Sophia for that. And I had to call the land bank, like, what I'm gonna do? How to handle this. So also the process of trying to own land or obtain it for something that is considered community is just such a wonderful learning experience that I was able to have. Also being able to communicate directly with an organization that someone's always available to respond is one of those much needed abilities that we should have more in community development, where people are actually really listening, also participating in the events that you're holding, and supporting the things that you're supporting while maintaining this. One of the most beautiful aspects of my growing space is that I'm also connected to a little bit of urban forestry. And urban forestry is a way for us to, I want to say, be even more intentional and sustainable, because you don't always have to get mangoes from the Caribbean. You can get pawpaws here. We can get root crops here. So that would be like our ginseng, that would be our ramps, our bloodroot, our golden seal, which is very popular in the market. And if you've got a growing space, it will be awesome for us to, have these kind of foods in our urban terrain that could sustain our future generations. And so I was sharing how the farm is able to grow, darn near 3.5, 4 seasons if I had the capacity to, because I'm just adjacent from the Mill Creek Park, and just as minerally rich as the park is, that land space here is just as lush and minerally rich. So I have the capacity of doing more than what I'm doing. But of course, that just means that I need to be more focused and intentional about the business that I have here doing this work. So most of my business that I've been doing, urban agriculture has a piece of it. But my next steps is absolutely to behold a teaching space for people to actually come and do more hands-on and actually have more of a one-on-one conversation with me on how am I actually living in the city just behind 9 lots that's an urban farm. Like, that's a lot to discuss. So I'm grateful that the land bank said yes to me, gave me an opportunity to, one step at a time, slowly figure out how I'm able to obtain these beautiful lots that allow me to look at northeastern Ohio in all of its many seasons. Like, this is a huge blessing. It's a big responsibility, but I think that it has also helped me to stay more aligned and organized with the work that I'm absolutely doing in the world, which is working basically in nature-based things. And me also being a spiritualist or spiritual consultant, nature is our technology, the very thing that I have to go to and have access to as much as I needed to for me to divine or really make deep connections while helping to heal the people. So long story short, this project, this sustainable project, is a way that others can see how they too can have their best joy.